Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to run Windows Live Movie Maker. Basic stuff like editing and transitions, importing and exporting. It sounds complicated, it's not complicated at all, it's super easy, and I'll take you through the steps right now. First thing you're going to need to do is open up Movie Maker. Okay, so first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to click the Start button. It's the 4 flagged Windows logo in the lower left. And right in that search box, you're going to be able to type in the words Movie Maker. And you should get Windows Live Movie Maker, Windows Essentials, yada yada yada. Just find one that says Movie Maker, open that up, and you're in your Windows Live Movie Maker. If you have never opened up Windows Movie Maker before, you should get a pop-up asking you if you would like to accept the terms and conditions of Windows Live Essentials. Go ahead and accept those. First thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to import your awesome pictures and videos. I happen to already have mine right here. In order to do it, there's 2 ways. The first way is to just click right here, add pictures and videos to your project, or you can click right here. Either one works for me. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to click on this, and then you're going to need to scroll down until you find your selected location. So I'm going off my N drive. I just might mention it doesn't need to be off your N drive. It can be off a device that you are going to be using. If you have any questions, I'm pretty sure your teachers would be more than happy to help you, so just give them a holler. Okay, so once you have found your videos and pictures, you're going to select them and then import them. Click open to start the import process. Now, this is just importing, and you see it says Movie Maker is preparing my files. This is just going to make it easier to edit for me, so it's doing me a favor. This might take a second. If it does, don't worry, you might just see this little time indicator waiting. Some of your videos will load automatically and they'll be ready to view right there. Alright, we see that now our audio data has loaded in. We can see our little waveforms, and we can see our wonderful dogs right here on the display. Now I can either push the space bar on my keyboard, or I can click play right here to start my video. I prefer to use the keyboard shortcut. Let's say, for instance, I would like to add an animation. There are a few animations that I can add, and in order to add those, I click on the Animations tab. Here are all of the transitions that I can add. Here are the pan and zooms. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these pan and zooms. You can kind of see what they do here. They'll twist the camera. I don't like that. You can see how it kind of comes out from the corner. I don't like that, especially when the footage is like shaky like the footage that I have now. I can look at these transitions, and I can just push this little arrow, and I can scroll through all of these different types of transitions. There's the dissolve transitions, reveals, cinematic transitions. They're all here. When you find one you want, I personally like the flip, so I'm going to click on that. You can set the duration right here. But I want to talk about transitions a little bit in regarding pictures. If you're going to have any pictures in your slideshow, you should know that there are a lot more than what there is with just video. So you can see some of these are cool looking. Okay. So let's talk about cutting in and out of slides or clips. This is a video that I filmed of my dog and my grandma's dog. This video was filmed in portrait. That means it was filmed up and down on an iPhone. So I want to switch it around so it's more like this, and it shows the black bars, but it shows it upright. In order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click rotate left until I get it how I want it. That looks good. Play it back. Yes. And that looks better. So, next thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to cut. So let's say I want to stop right here, because the rest of this is me talking to another person in the room. So in order to cut this out, there are a couple ways. One of the ways is to click on the video tools. Now this is just like in Word. Like if you're in Word and you're dealing with a picture, it's going to say picture tools. This is similar in Movie Maker. You're dealing with a video, so it says video tools. I can click on that, and I can change the video volume, whether I want the volume of the video to fade in and out. We already set a transition. There is a fade transition if that's something that you would like, but there is also an audio fade in and out. So technically I could match the video and the audio together when it's fading in and out. Next one is speed, which we'll get into in a second. This is actually a pretty fun one that we have lots of fun with. Next one is split. Now this is kind of a neat feature. Let's say I want to take this video, only this piece here, and stop it, and then put Bailey's picture in, and then continue on with the rest of that. Well, I would need to kind of cut right there in order to kind of weave that in, you know what I mean? So I'm going to split it. I can click split on the screen right there, and you see that it split it. Now I have two different pieces. Or I can use the keyboard shortcut, which is M. Touching on M splits it. Now you see that we have split. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is cutting. Okay, now I could split, and then I could just right click and remove this. That works. But what I would really want to do is a more professional way of doing it. I'd want to cut right here, so then the rest of this is gone. So what I can do is a quick way is to just click set endpoint. So I'm going to use my this is my player head right here. I'm going to use that to go over to 10 seconds. And I can either push set endpoint, I could split and then delete this. There's always a ways of doing it. I would just prefer to use the set endpoint. The keyboard shortcut for that is O. The keyboard shortcut for set start point is I. So I'm going to push O on my keyboard, and you see that now it's cut. Now if I start at the beginning,
yes, I love you.
We can go down to get our lunch and then go to sleep.
and then it fades right into video. Now, while we're in the Video Tools tab, let's talk about the speed. The speed is basically how fast or slow a clip plays. So if I put my player head in the middle of my clip, go on my clip, select it, make sure it has the blue around it, then come up here and select maybe 2 times. If I wanted to, for instance, make it go slow, I would just click on it again, and I could change it to slow, and you see that it expanded to show me the entire clip. So if I play this, there it is in slow motion, and you can see that they're both really excited that I just got home. I'm going to explain to you the other tabs that we have here. Let's say, for instance, I wanted to put a caption on my clip. I can just push caption. Now, not title. Title is, if I click title here, it's going to put this little blank. It's going to put this blank slide at the beginning of my video. It's going to have a text box that says my movie. Of course, I can edit this. And then I can also change the background color by selecting on the clip, selecting background color, and changing it to whatever I want. I can change the animation of my text, and I can do this all over the editor, no matter whether I put a caption overlaying a video or at the beginning or at the end. So I can have it float in like that, or like this, or swing it down, up, to the right. It's just, there's a lot of fun you can have with editing like this. Let's say, for instance, I just want to have a caption. I'll click on caption, and it automatically just places a box. This is a text box with editing capabilities similar to Microsoft Office. I can change the font right here, and you see that you have most of the fonts. Some of the fonts didn't come up. Let's say I wanted to type in here, my dog sucks. Now I want to talk about taking your movie and saving it. Let's say you're going to stop editing today and come back tomorrow. We're going to save this as a project. What that means is we are going to say to Movie Maker, I'm going to be coming back later. And we're going to save this as a project. And what that means is then we can come back and edit it later. So, first things first, you're going to click on the File menu. Click on that, and then click Save Project. Do not... Sucks. Click Save Project. Don't click Save Project As, do Save Project. Once you save your project, it'll come up and it'll say File Name. It'll have the words My Movie there. I would strongly recommend changing that. Changing it to anything else would just be better. So I'm going to call it My Project. Although you would call it Add or something. I'm going to save it on my N drive. So I'm going to come down here, N drive. I'll find that folder that I had a folder set up called Movie Maker. And there it is. And I'll just save it right there. Now, when I close this out, you would assume that it'd go away, but no, it doesn't. Because then when I go, it doesn't, because then when I go to my Movie Maker folder on the network, I have my project right here, and I can double click. It opens the Movie Maker right back where I was started. I'm going to show you how to do music from your local drive. You can download it onto the internet if that's okay with your teacher, but I'm going to be doing it more for if it's on your drive. So, I'm going to navigate to where my music's at. It's on my hard drive here. Now, I'm going to get some music from iTunes. How about this Hey Brother song? So, I can play it right now.
Hey, brother.
It works. Let's say I wanted to add one song right here for this clip, and another song for this clip. We'll get into that as well. So for starters, what I can do is I can click right here and I can click Add Music. Now, I can then browse to where I have my music state at. I'm going to add Say Something by, I'm going to add this song here by, I actually don't know who it's by, but I'm going to go ahead and add it. I'm going to add this song right here, and you see if I push play.
Oh, yes. I love you.
We can go down and get our lunch and then go to the
Now I added the song Say Something. It's a very quiet song, so let's say I want to amp it up a little bit. I just click on the song, click Music Tools, Music Volume. Okay, so now I have my music right here. I can adjust the fade in, so I could say I want it to fade in slow. I can adjust the fade in, so I can say I want it to fade in slow. I can adjust the fade in, so I want it to fade in slow.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I love you.
go down and get our lunch and then go to
Say something.
Let's say I want that song for this clip, which is kind of pointless because the song is so short and quiet, and I want a different song for this clip and a different one for this clip. I put my, now I'm going to really get in here because I really want you to look at this. And you can zoom in right down here in the lower right. There is this little zoom thing. You can zoom in right there. Now you see this is right where the clip starts right here. So this is where I would want this Say Something song to end and a new song to begin. So I click on the green track, which is my song, drag my player head over here, then push M to split. Now that I have two different songs, I can take this and I can say I want it to start right here. And there we go. Now, when I play my video back, that song played up until the new clip came in. The new clip is silent, and then the credits
Say something.
have the song in. What I can do now is, let's say I'm done with my slideshow. I would save it. Now we saved it as a project before, and you know that's what we did. And it's on our N drive. That's ready. But I'm going to save it as a movie. This is how Mrs. Faziri or Mrs. Pavelka can open it up on their computers and view it without needing all of your files. So I'm going to go to Save Movie, and I'm going to do Recommended for the project. Okay, click on Recommended for the project, and then it'll launch a Finder window where I can scroll down and find my N drive again, or my hard drive, depending on whatever I'm putting in, and save it. Now, I would recommend saving it as something different. I would recommend saving it something different other than my project or whatever you saved it as before. I'm going to call it My Final Video. Now, once you click Save, it's going to start the save process. I'm going to click it now. This might take a few minutes depending on how long your video is. Once your video is done, it will come up and say that it's done. You can either play it or you can open the folder. Now, when I'm saying that, I mean open the folder in which you saved it in. So I saved it on my N drive, and it's in the folder called Movie Maker. There it is. That just about does it for me. I hope I explained this thoroughly and pretty slowly. If you have any questions, give one of your teachers a shout. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.